guys, back to the tannery, and I just got a signal that I have never got with this mine lab. Now, I was told by several people that these things love nickels and that I should look for an 11, and that's what I just got, and it was solid. It took me a little bit of fishing around. I don't know how I missed the target, but we got some sort of a nickel. Haven't looked at it yet. I'm hoping for a buffalo. What do you think? That is exactly what we got. Oops, that's what we had. That is really cool. It's been a long time for a nickel around here. And I've dug, of course, a lot of V-nickels and buffaloes. See a date on there? Boy, there might be one poking through, but typically when they get this color orange, boy, you don't see a date. I'll take a little closer look under some light and let you know. What's that look like? A 20-something to you? 25 maybe? 23? Very cool. Oh, tannery still got some goodies. I thought I had myself a big old coin or something, but it is just a big old hunk of melted lead. Not sure what was going on there. Unusual for me, poking out of this plug. Looks like some sort of an earring. I don't usually find jewelry, but with my luck, that's just plated. I'll clean it up and show you, but looks plated to me. I have spent a little bit of time doing construction over the course of my life, and I've bent a few nails in the process, and every time you bend a nail on a job site, you get harassed about it. How bad do you gotta be to bend a railroad stake? Man, somebody stunk at swinging a hammer, that's for sure. If you guys had as much fun watching these videos as I do just being out here filming them and making them, I'd have 1 million subscribers. All I found is that railroad spike today, but look at that. Sun glinting off the side of those mountains as it gets ready to set over there. Man, if all I find is that spike today, I've had a good day. Look at that, guys. All that is supposed to be field. It is all river today. Wow. All right, doing a little coin roll hunting since it's pouring the rain outside, and I got skunked, I believe. I always love finding those. Somebody leaving their mark, letting us know they've been there. But I got a little helper who has been helping me unroll coins, haven't you?
Yeah.
Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Have you found anything cool?
Yeah.
What'd you find?
This coin.
You found your first cool coin, didn't you? What is that?
It's a face.
It's a face?
Uh-huh.
That is cool. You found that one all by yourself?
Uh-huh.
I'm proud of you. All right, find us a silver. That's a, uh-oh.
I can get that.
Well.
I can clean that fast.
Okay. We find the silver, it'll be on the floor, and I'll show you. I have pretty much been running this thing in field 2 with multi-frequency ever since I really kind of started to figure this out. I haven't changed it much from that at all. And I like that setting. It's on 3 tones. And the reason why I like it is I don't hear all the small iron, but it will give me a signal on big iron. So what you reckon that is? I don't know. Interesting little deal. But anyway, I'm a little worried maybe I need to experiment a little bit more. Maybe there's something else out there. I don't think I know the whole machine yet. I think I'm locked in because I'm a little scared, but boy, it's been working though when I do get over something good. There you go. Here's an example of that big iron that it'll hit. And I tell you, I don't mind digging an old horseshoe. Right there in that clean patch, I saw a little bit of glass. Look at a little old perfume bottle. Now this is really cool. It's a makeup compact, but it has got all sorts of detail all over the front of it. That's got to be the prettiest makeup compact I've ever dug by far. So let me see if I can clean that up a little bit. Take a look at the design. Well, there you go. Some naked little angels dancing around. I don't know, what would you call that? Kind of like a cornucopia. Looks like a bunch of something in the middle there, food or something. Can't tell. That is a really fancy one though. I'm tickled with that. Oh, I think I just got a huge token. And it was on edge, and I covered the hole up and walked away, and I come back to it. I'm praying that's a Judson token. I've got one little, all right, let's just quit talking, let's look at it. Oh my goodness, look at that thing. Look at it. Please say Judson. All right, quick explanation about Judson. About 3 years ago, I dug a token about 10 feet away from where I just found this thing, and it was a pretty rare token. In fact, I've never seen anybody else that has one. It was a lumber company token, and it had a town, Judson, North Carolina, which no longer exists because it's underneath Lake Fontana. I was hoping this was a larger denomination of that same token. It isn't, but it's awesome. Good for $1 on a cash purchase of 20 or over. I got a feeling that's not going to be Judson. What do we got? Is this one of them soap ones? I've never got one of them either. Don't matter. Oh, it's been so long since I've had a good, decent find. Dry good clothing, furnishings for the whole family. Andrews, North Carolina. It's local. Oh, that tickles me to death. It's got some crud up there at the top of the name, so let me see if I can clean that up and see who we're dealing with there. That is awesome. All right, that crud is on there pretty good, and I am not going to be scratching it off right now because I don't want to damage this. I have never heard of this token ever, and I've done a lot of looking at tokens. I'm not saying it ain't that I've missed something, but I've never heard of it. I think it says Fiskars. I think that's what it says, but this right here is a prime candidate for that oxalic acid treatment. You're gonna see that right there? I mean, I've scratched on it. I'm not scratching anymore. I don't want to damage it. Good bath in some oxalic acid, and this thing's gonna shine like a new penny. It's got a nice bend in it. I'm glad I didn't do that. There's no shovel marks. That just made my year. I cannot believe that. That thing had been straight up and down. That is awesome. Okay. Oh boy. I'm gonna get out of here. No, I'm not either. I'm gonna keep detecting. Can't stop on a find like that. Few things get me as excited as digging a token, because when I dig a token, I know that I'm about to meet somebody. That's not an experience that I get when I dig an old coin. I'll never know who dropped that thing. But an old token, it's going to take you someplace, and it's going to introduce you to somebody usually. So Fishers, who was that? Well, I went to Google first. And the only mention I had of Fishers was the name of a man called Bruce Fisher. And just a quick mention that he ran a store in Andrews and that he had two daughters, Margaret and Mabel. I didn't find a whole lot more about Bruce Fisher, but then I started seeing the name W.B. Fisher popping up. It said W.B. Fisher was made postmaster of Andrews in 1894. So just on a hunch, I wondered if that B in WB might stand for Bruce. Well, what would the W stand for? So I just made a wild guess. William Bruce Fisher, and I nailed it. That was his name, William Bruce Fisher. He married a girl by the name of Layla Culverd. They're both buried right there in the middle of Andrews. Now, 1894 would have put Mr. Fisher at 19 years of age when he was made postmaster. So he must have had a real good head for business on his shoulders. So Google didn't give me a ton more details. It did mention that Mabel and Margaret operated the store after Mr. Fisher's death in 1950, just for a short while. Well, I had to go to Facebook because Google had panned out on me, and I went to the local area people on Facebook and just started asking questions, and a friend of mine by the name of Margie reached out and said, "You need to talk to my mom." Now, her mother turned out to be the only person that I have talked to so far that even remembered the store. She bought her wedding dress there. So she told me about the store and where it was located. I'm going to show you that location. She also told me where Mr. Fisher lived. It's right where the post office is now. So I knew the locations, and she also shared some cool stories with me. Kind of laughed a little bit when she talked about Mabel and Margaret. She said they didn't even look like sisters. One was big and boxy and the other was tall and thin. She said that no matter how big the dress was that you bought in their store, they'd get you in that dress and they'd march you over to a mirror, and one of them would grab that dress and kind of bunch it up and pull it tight up against you to make the fit look just a little bit better. So maybe you'd buy that dress. I love old stories like that and old memories being shared over something that you dug up out of the dirt. I thought that was the end of the story, but then I got something even cooler. Margaret and Mabel left Andrews and went to New York for a short while. And while they were there, they met a lady that you might recognize her name. Her name was Myrna Loy. She was a big-time Hollywood actress, and they became close friends. The sisters, who never married, came back to Andrews at some point and lived right across from the little Catholic church. And their friend Myrna Loy would make visits to Andrews and stay with them for a little bit. And that made front page headlines. Myrna Loy comes to Andrews. Tell you what, you cannot beat the stories that a token will bring you. Well, I gotta tell you, I made a change right before I found that token. And I did something that I hardly ever do. I decided to go coin shooting, and you can see I left 11 and 12 for nickels because nickels do pop up here, and then everything above 20. Everything in between and everything lower than that, I silenced. And the very first thing I found as soon as I did that was that token on edge, and I got that high squeak, but it was weird because like I said, it was on edge. I could only get it one way. I almost didn't dig that sucker. Well, a few feet away, I got an 11 that hit almost the same way. This is a little weird looking because usually we have orange nickels, but I think it is a nickel. I think. Ooh, we might have a V nickel here. Might have a V nickel. Well, whatever it is wiped. I hope that ain't one of them knockout things. It's a little weird looking. Let me give it a little shiny shine and see if we can get something to pop through. All right, it is a V nickel. Check that out, 1898. They usually turn out nice and orange. I'll clean it up a little bit better when I get home. Maybe work that backside a little better. But we know what she is. There's Lady Liberty. I don't know if the Lord cares a whole lot about metal detecting, or hunting, or fishing. But I know he cares about us. And I tell you what, may be weird to some of you people watching this channel, but what I needed was to get out and dig some holes that had something in them. So I am most grateful for today, because it's going to start snowing here tomorrow, probably followed by some more rain. And I swear it's been weeks. That's a long time to go without finding something old and interesting. So I cannot wait to get home and clean up that old token. All right, we got what we need to clean this token up. So here is what it looks like after toothbrush and water. And it has got some real bad crusty corrosion. And you're going to see something pretty special. I've been hoping for something just like this, because the oxalic acid works great, but it does real special good on these aluminum tokens. Somebody may have tried to start holing that, or maybe that's just a pit. We'll come back in about, I don't know, 30-40 minutes and see what it's doing. All right, so pull it out of the acid and give it a bath in some fresh water, and all you gotta do is take a toothbrush. Look at the black coming off of this token. Now, if you find a few little spots here and there where the rust is thick, and if it's pitted, that rust is gonna stick down inside those pits. So give it another soak. Let it sit in there. I think I let this one sit in there maybe about 30 minutes. End result looked really good. All right, there it is, finished product. Look at that. And I went ahead and boiled this thing to get it hot, and I got a little bit of the bend out of it. Didn't want to mess with it too much, but I did want to take some of it out, so happy with the results. I'm going to take you on a little drive right through downtown Andrews, and the scene that you're about to see has changed very little in the last 120 years. This little main drag right to the center of town. The buildings are the same. Pretty much all that's changed is the names. So I'm going to show you where Fisher's department store once stood. And it's pretty cool. I did not know that, there it is. I see it. All right. See right there? That little Italian place, that building, that was Fisher's department store. And the Fisher's house stood right back there by that big tree. Mr. Bruce Fisher lived right there where the post office is. I'll show you something else kind of cool up here. And I'll show you a picture of what old Andrews looks like, and you'll see that it hasn't changed very much. Pretty much just the names. So there we go. There was Fisher's department store at one time. See this building right here? This brick one with the blue window? That used to be Mallwood's Cafe years ago. That's actually my wife's great-great-grandmother, or great-grandmother. And she had a cafe, and one day, a group of about 4 young men pulled in there, and they were musicians, and they were on their way to a concert. And the guy that did the singing for them was a young man by the name of Elvis Presley.